Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland, and I'm coming to you today with the daily meditation. It's my meditation that I do for myself. I record it and I release it because maybe somebody else out there can get something out of it. It just so happens that I love God. Choose God this day. The bad guys, they sin. The good guys, we sin. We all sin. It's whom you serve. You don't have to be perfect. No one is. No one. Even if you have things you've been dealing with, and on Satan and them's teams, come over to God's team. He'll help you with it, He'll help you get through it. Just try to be better, That don't mean that we don't have to suffer from our consequences. It doesn't mean that when you come to God's team, you don't have to deal with your consequences. It doesn't mean that. We all do. But He'll help you get through it, though, And never give up on yourself. If you have yourself, you have everything. If you lost everything you have, if you have yourself, you can always rebuild, And love yourself. Because if no one else loves you, if you love yourself, you'll be okay. For those of you just tuning in, I focus on 3 major religious texts, the Bible, the Quran, and I'm in an introductory Buddhist text called The Shape of Suffering. And it deals with dependent co-arising. Without no this, there's no that. And everything we say and do has an effect on our senses. Just kind of look it up. I'm back on the rotation for the Bible. We're moving along. And I kept saying the wrong thing. That after I came back off of winter break when it just turned 2024, the Heavenly Host wanted me to focus out of the New Testament, and I kept saying the Old Testament. I started in the Old Testament. They had me start 6 months earlier or so than the Old Testament. But then I changed the schedule to where in 2024, when I came back off of my winter channel break, I started from the New Testament. My mistake. I'm sorry. I would listen to it, and I kept saying the wrong thing. So I'm just making that correction. So we're in the Old Testament of the Bible. But for my devotional, I'm subject to go wherever. So the devotional is different from my meditation. But anyway, we're back in the rotation for the Bible. We're in Mark chapter 1. And the verse goes all the way through 41. But I don't know if I'm going to make it all the way. But I'm going to start from Mark chapter 4, verse 1. And I'll tell you when I end. And he began again to teach by the seaside. And there was gathered unto him a great multitude, so that he entered into a ship and sat in the sea, and the whole multitude was by the sea on the land. And he taught them many things by parables, and said unto them in his doctrine. They're talking about Christ now. Hearken, behold, there went out a sower to sow. And it came to pass as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and devoured it up. And some fell on the stony ground, where it had not much earth, and immediately it sprang up, because it had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, it was scorched, But when the sun was up, and it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and it yielded no fruit. And other fell on good ground, and did yield fruit that sprang up and increased, and brought forth some 30, and some 60, and some 100. And he said unto them, He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. And when he was alone, they were about him with the 12 asked, let me say that again. And when he was alone, they were about him with the 12 asked of him the parable. And he said unto them, Unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God. But unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables. Either you understand what he's saying or you don't. That seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing that they may hear and not understand, lest at any time they should be converted and their sins should be forgiven them. And he said unto them, Know ye not this parable? And how then will ye know all parables? The sower soweth the word. And these are they by the wayside. Their word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the sword that was sown in their hearts. Let me say that again. And these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. And these are the likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word immediately receive it with gladness, and have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. Afterward, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. Yep. Soon as something bad comes, oh, God's not with me. He's this and he's that. I understand it, though. I understand it. I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to stop it at verse 17. I'm going to pick it back up at 17. That's how we are. Me, I feel it. I know. I feel like God forsakes me sometimes. As much as people go in on me, boy. When they think I made a mistake, even when I don't make mistakes, they go in on me. So I get it. But we got to be stronger than that. We can't give up every bit of hope that we have to the bad guys. We can't do it.